hook before the first gen even pops. Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am your Judge Poggy, and with me today is Little Rugard, our counselor for this evening. Little Rugard, how are you doing? My good man. Hello. Real? Okay, so I guess I'm being ignored tonight by Little Rugard, but that's okay. We're going to be flying Poggy solo tonight, and I'm prepared for that, because as you'll see, I brought my superpowers. Mr. Incredible. Yes, I'm going to be going solo this evening. Actually, Little Rugard was not able to make it with us tonight. But that's okay. He'll be on at the 10 o'clock game, I believe. I apologize for the lack of Pogard. You're just going to have to deal with it. So, it is 5 in the morning here in the Philippines. And Sam was like, did you know there's a game at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern? And I'm like, I thought it was at 7 because I'm derpy as hell this weekend. So, with that in mind, we're going to look at our docket this evening. Here is what is on for tonight. So, this evening, we've got Week 5 matchups. Sample Text versus Siphon. I made that Siphon logo, by the way. You like that? That's my thing. All right. And we're going to be, I think, and this is correct, we're going to be on Dead Dog Saloon. Sam, please correct me if I'm wrong about that in my ear. No one can hear you, just me. So if I'm wrong and we're actually on Cold Tower, I might have screwed that up. But I'm pretty sure we're on Dead Dog safely. Yeah. We're on Dead Dog. Okay, good. So, and then in that case, Dead Dog Saloon, square tiles, 136. And we also have, how many square meters was that? I actually missed it. I have to rewind the video. 8,704 square meters, 6 hooks min, 11 hooks max, 1 permagen, which I believe is either the one, I think it's the one on the gallows. And then there's the sort of permagen at the top of the saloon. Not quite perma, kind of perma. And there's also 2 basement spawns. There's a basement spawn behind the saloon and the basement spawn inside the killer shack. The one inside the killer shack being significantly more favorable for the killer. Whereas the one in the back of the saloon can work, but is harder to get to, a little harder to protect. Anyway, then we also have today's stats for these 2 teams. Let's take a look at these stats. We've got a 2.25 for Siphon and a minus 0.32 for Sample Text. Sample Text being probably the better team for this evening. Sam, if you could start that prediction up now that people have seen the stats, now might be a good time to do that. And we have a gen percentage of 88 to 70. 88 for Sample Text, 70 for Siphon. And the BP percentage, the score is the one that I really interested in. Average score, 18.29, Siphon, 14.47. So the team's not too far off, but also not super close either. Siphon, with the hook differential, actually quite substantially higher. It doesn't look like a big number, like 2.25 seems like, well, that's not that high, right? That's not that high. Well, it's actually really high. So, and not good high. That's bad. Lower is better for hook differential, if you didn't know that. Basically the way it works. Simply enough, survivor hooks minus killer hooks. So more killer hooks means your killer is performing better, and fewer survivor hooks means your survivors are performing better. And that's what you want to see. You want to see a lower number. Negatives are good. All right. Let's get back into it. We are looking at Bubba here. He's with me. This is my co-host, Bubba. Since I don't have an actual co-host, it's so sad. I want a co-host, and I'm sorry. I'm so bad at going solo. I need to get good. We haven't done a solo in a while. Am I blurry? Or did I just not clean my glasses properly? Hold on. Aha! See, it wasn't just your eyes. I was, in fact, blurry. So we are going to be getting started in just a minute. We do have the teams here tonight. We got two amazing teams. Viceblin from, I believe, Sample Text will be killing first. And then we have Siphon Squad. We're going to be looking at them in just a second. But I wanted to see what the chat's saying here. So, i.e. a negative VE hook percentage, good or bad? What is VE? I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to look into that one, Kieran. Ninetales, Haddon Fun? No, not Haddon Fun. Nah, fam, we are playing on Haddonfield. Don't you know, Punky? Troll. You're such a troll. We are not playing on Haddonfield. There's no way I am that bad at this. I know I'm bad at this, but there's no way I'm that bad. All right, so here are the teams. We got Igmore. Wait, how do you say that one? That's a new one. That's also new. I-Complex, I think is what it's supposed to be. And then Spider-Man X789 with Viceblin on Killer. And I guess I'll send him a friend request. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. That sounds like a plan. Yeah. And I'm excited to see what these guys have for us in store tonight. Rue, what do you think of these two teams? All right, he's not here. Never mind. Never mind. It's just me doing analysis. You guys don't want me doing analysis, right, Bubba? Absolutely not. Nobody wants to see that. Well, this is why we need a host for the show. No cam, but I can talk. Ninetales, you know what? I think I would like that a lot, but we need people with good microphones, and I don't know how good your microphone is. So if you're confident, maybe, I don't know. But for the time being, it's just going to be me solo, and then if Rugard happens to pop online, we'll get him in as well. But, you know, we all made some mistakes this weekend, including not knowing what time our own streams were, because we're derpy. We're derpy over here. But I'm excited. I'm here. We're here. We're getting ready. We're going to be watching it very soon. Not to worry. Don't panic. And with that in mind, I'm going to be taking a moment to swig some water while I wait for these teams to start readying up. Chat, I appreciate you guys. You guys are helping me because I feel so alone. I really do. I feel alone. Like, I'm used to doing it on my own stream, but when I'm hosting this show, I need a partner, and I feel like an empty shell without Rue here. I really do. Or maybe Guildspire. If Guildspire was here, I would feel a little less of an empty shell as well. I can host. Really, Psychomantis? You think so? You think you got it in you? You think? I don't know. I got nothing to say. I'm sorry. I'm panicking. I'm freaking out. I'm going crazy. And I haven't had enough coffee. In fact, I'm gonna try and order some McDonald's while we're sitting here. Hang on. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. So, Poggy, if Rue has left you, I'll come keep you company, give you some kisses. No, I think I'd rather not. Thank you. Thank you, though. Appreciate the offer. I'm going to have to politely decline. Deathmate the Deep Dark says, wow, guy. Wow, guy what? Are you... Hey, why are you hating on me? I'm all alone. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. We can't even redeem Pogard high fives. It'd just be a sad whiff into the air, much like any of my gameplays that you watch. I petitioned to put Domo and I in for casting. Hey, you know, everybody's free to audition to be on the show. League@vigoscourt.com. Send us your best recordings of you having fun playing Dead by Daylight, doing some commentary, what have you, post-game analysis, anything like that. We love to see anybody who wants to come on and be part of the show. So absolutely. I bet Psychomantis would put on a show. Probably. He probably would. He seems like a pretty cool dude, so I don't know. Anyway, they are readying up. We got 3 out of 4. We're about to go in. I'm going to be in my comfort zone here in a minute because we're going to actually get into the game, which that's where I feel most comfortable. Without the game, I feel like a hollow, empty shell. Poggy, did you just reject me? Of course I did. What do you mean? what do you mean? Why would I want to have... No, we're not doing that. So, mad grit, agitation, clearly, yes. That's, I mean, meta, I think, pretty much. I'm glad to have you all here today, by the way. I think it's Sunday over there in the U.S., right? It's like Monday a.m. here, but it's Sunday in the U.S., and we are just about to get in. I get to get myself away from this by going to a rules video, giving me a moment to reflect on all the bad decisions I made today. Hello everyone, we're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Week 5 matchups featuring Sample Text versus Siphon. We're going to be going into the game in just a moment, still loading in. By the way, did you know that hitting a healthy survivor grants them... I have no idea what that said. I didn't get to finish reading it, but I'm sure it was really important and had something to do with how to be better at playing this. Oh, successfully escaping the killer during a... I don't even get a chance to get the tip. No wonder everybody's bad at this game. I don't even get a chance to read it. Ooh, and we get a Hag. Early game, Viceland bringing a Hag. This map, by the way, Hag can be pretty nasty. NGL Hag can be pretty nasty on this map. I, for one, though, would say that probably for literally every map because I'm a Hag main. So I'd be like, yeah, Hag is definitely... Yeah, I mean, just every single map. Hag is disgusting. Let's take a look at our survivors we got from top to bottom. I-Complex, Igmore, Oh Spider-Man, and Hezekiles. As we see the Hag kind of making her way around, looking for places to put her traps, ignoring scratch marks, which is probably the smart play. Not really immediately going for chases. She doesn't want to really do that. Ideally, the Hag wants to spend this time going for the setup, and that's exactly what she's doing. Using that Corrupt Intervention time to set up her traps. She does get a trap tripped early and gets a hit on I-Complex. Very nice opening to the game. Resets that trap as well. Only 3 traps on the board, and now that they know where she is and they know it's a Hag, they're probably going to start harassing her setup. That's usually what you want to do, and you want to have one player kind of dedicated to doing that, which it may or may not be this Kate. I don't know who they've dedicated to it, if anybody. Depends on how with it these teams are. But it doesn't seem as though that's what they've done. And they haven't even tripped any more of her traps, which I would have kind of expected them to at least try to do. Ooh, I don't know about those 2 traps. Those 2 traps that he just placed, first of all, they're way in the back corner. Not really ideal. But that aside, not a terrible position for it, but they were just too close together, IMO. I wouldn't have placed them that close together. Now, we do see a trap tripping in the middle, and yeah, it was Kate, I think, who tripped it. Oh, Spider-Man. However, he is able to get the hit on her, so abusing the traps, maybe not so great with this Hag. She's actually getting some good hits. Claudette about to finish her gen, sitting at about 90%, just about to wrap it up there. And that'll be 1 generator done with no downs yet from the Hag, unfortunately. It's kind of probably owing to some of the trap placement. I mean, I'm not trying to beat up on him early, but I mean, just with these early trap placements being off in the corner like that, some of them back there's a couple that are, in the middle, and that's good. And he is getting those, but then he goes for this ITH, and yeah, they are just harassing his traps now, taking him off the board quickly, and another generator popping. Ooh, that's not good for you, Hag. I'm so sorry. And again, a third ITH whiff, which is not good either. Now, he is going to simply go for the dedicated chase on I-Complex, but then he's not going to commit to the chase for the down. So he is losing that pressure from the hit. The hit basically does nothing until you get the down. Now you can just go heal, reset, and, rinse, repeat. Which is probably what we're going to see from these survivors. And we see now a balance landing play from Nancy. And Hag does not commit. Once again, Hag is not committal to chase, which, I mean, you don't necessarily want to commit with Hag to chase. I'm not saying that that's a good idea. But in this case, I would consider it because of the fact that these survivors are just kind of harassing you, have 2 gens done already, and you haven't even gotten a down yet. It's time to start thinking about how you want to change up your gameplay. If something's not working, you want to reassess in the moment, and you have to be prepared to do that. And at this particular moment, chasing again after I-Complex, who, as I said, is fully healed now, completely reset, and it makes the chase a basic waste of her time. Another gen gonna pop, though, now chasing after the Nancy, who is headed toward the middle of Killer Shack, gonna take the hit, run over here towards the saloon, taking that momentum to get over there quickly, and the Hag, once again, taking a teleport, getting it nowhere with it, and leaving Nancy to reset. And apparently there are 2 penalties. So we're looking at the survivor names, and the penalties being applied is that Igmor and Hezekiles have changed their name, but didn't actually change it in the official roster. So we are applying a 2 penalty, which I believe is going to be a -10. Okay, one of them actually did make it into the roster, the other one didn't, so we are only applying a 5-point penalty. Is that right, Sam? Okay, so there you go. And he does, once again, take another ITH. A couple more missed ITHs, and then he got the one on I-Complex. I-Complex, again, injured and going to probably reset with 3 generators done. I just don't know about this. I just don't see this working for this Hag right now. She's got no hooks. There are 3 generators done. This is not ideal Hag play. This is not what you want to see as Hag. Now, it's not over yet. The Hag could still potentially get it down, start a snowball. But at this point, unless she drastically changes the playstyle, again, you're just placing too many traps out here in the middle of nowhere. And these survivors, I understand, he's trying to protect a 3-gen. I get it. And he can totally get away with that. The thing is, at what cost? He's losing a lot of that early pressure. He's not committing to any downs. And I don't know if it's going to play out for him very well. We'll see how it works. He's protecting the 3-gen early. I'll give him that. That's not necessarily a bad play. But if these survivors play smart, if they're careful, they can avoid necessarily taking the downs. Now, they actually allow themselves to get 3-gen by finishing that last generator over there. I, as a survivor, would have thought about maybe let's commit to one of the other gens as a group. Let's try to maybe split up on the 3-gen. And try to get it broken up. But they didn't do that, so maybe actually passing the reins over to Hag in the late game by doing that. But the thing to also consider is that, oh, wow, look how far along that generator is, and he takes a teleport away from it, giving it an opportunity to complete in his face. If they're still over there, I don't know, but let's find out what's going on. Yeah, that generator is really far along, and he's still... This is what I mean. You got 4 survivors alive, so even with a 3-gen, it's going to be very difficult, nigh impossible, to really hard protect that 3-gen, even with a Hag, if they play it smart. And he's trying to place a trap. I mean, just the trap placement alone has been very risky to me in this whole game. Again, Rap here on the gallows, working on this. So they're splitting up. They're splitting up their work on the gens, which is difficult. Difficult to see, honestly. It's hard to watch. Now committing to chase with Kate, at least momentarily. Maybe going to take a hit on the Kate. There goes the hit. And is he going to commit to the chase? No, he doesn't commit. Doesn't want to lose that 3-gen early. But again, that gen is very far along. All it takes is a couple of survivors to keep hammering it out, keep pressuring it. And again, this one also being pressured pretty hard. It's going to be very difficult to protect both of these. In fact, all 3 of them. And I just don't see a world where that really works out. And the Hag currently chasing after the Nancy or the Kate? I'm not really sure. I think it was the Nancy. And they're going back to reset. So they're resetting, healing up. And I think they'll be able to get one of these gens cracked out. It's not looking good for this team right now. I'm referring to sample text. Sample text not looking too good. Worth pointing out, though, survivors kind of struggling, too, with that -5. Definitely hurt them a bit. But ultimately, that's probably going to come out on top for them after they get a 4-man escape. We'll see how they do that, if they're able to pull off a 4-man escape. These gens are regressing, but that's only a temporary thing. And once again, another trap tripping for the Hag. She does get a nice smack in the face with an ITH. And now chasing after I-Complex, who does take a hit, works his way into the saloon. And this is why they reset. They wanted to be sure they could handle taking a couple hits here and there and reset and all that stuff. So now... Look at this. See, they're playing it exactly as I said. They're playing it perfectly safe. Crawling over to the generator, and it's very close to completing. There is the possibility of having committed to that, but they did not commit. Claudette taking the hit, leaving the generator. These survivors are definitely pressuring this Hag pretty hard right now. And Hag is kind of committing to the Claudette, which is unusual to say the least, especially this late in the game. But I guess she's thinking, you know, I'm probably going to lose that gen. There's not much I can do anymore. I've let it go too far. And I think this might actually be GG. I'm pretty sure one of these generators is going to go, especially if he keeps committing to the Claudette. It might be ideal to just leave this behind and go for something else, but he is going to keep sticking to her through all these jungle gyms. Hag, not a great chase killer, and she is committing to these really difficult jungle gyms. There goes that last generator. We don't see an adrenaline from the Claudette. This might be the only opportunity for him to get it down, and he doesn't. There is a freaking pallet right there. I feel your pain. I feel it. And we see a protection hit possibly being taken by the Nancy. Nancy getting in the way, trying to body block the Hag from getting any distance onto the Claudette. Claudette kind of going backtracking on herself. She may actually get turned around here if she's not careful and may actually get herself down and provide one hook for this killer. She's around a not a very safe pallet and a two-man protection with Nancy and Ace coming in for the protection. Doing an excellent job of keeping them from actually allowed to get there. Wow, both of them standing in the doorway. Absolutely brilliant. Getting in the way and body blocking, stopping completely, letting Claudette get that distance she needs. And again, another one, Kate, getting in the way as well. Just not allowing a complete denial of any hooks. Siphon just denying everything. Just no. You don't get to do this. No. Absolutely devastating. That was extremely disappointing Hag gameplay from Viceplin. I don't know if I can necessarily blame him entirely, but there were some questionable decisions made with, I think, the build as well as just in general with the way he played with the traps. We can go over a little bit in some post-game. Sam, you're going to be tallying the score. Just let me know when it's ready, my friend, and we will go into the post-game highlights and talk a little bit about the post-game review to see what we missed. I'm going to do my best. I'm not the best for post-game analysis, to be honest with you. I'm going to try, though. I'm new at this part. Rue is usually the one who does it. I kind of miss him right now. Anybody else miss Rue? If you miss Rue, put an F in the chat, because I think we all do. Pretty sure everybody misses Rue. Okay, so for the build, we saw Corrupt Intervention, Thanatophobia, Hex, Ruin, and Sloppy Butcher, and I'm getting word that the score is correct, sitting at 323 in favor of Siphon. After the first game, we're going to go into the post-game. We'll be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are watching the Week 5 matchups, end of the week right now. Sample Text versus Siphon. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are having a great day. And tonight was trial number 1. First off, here's what you witnessed. 5 generators getting done with how many escapes? Yeah, it was a full 4-man squad out of 1 gate. And then we also saw how many hooks? How many hooks was that? 0. Not a single hook from the Hag. Absolutely devastating. Really hurt me and hurt me deep inside. Like, I feel like I have deep wounds. Sample Text 3 to Siphon 28 after trial number 1. That was the score. And Siphon leading going into trial number 2. We're going to see how they do going forward. Rue, take it away on some of these post-game highlights. Oh, god damn it, he's still not here. Well, I guess I'm going to do it. Okay, really smart things to say. As if I were Rugard. We have the Hag. I know a lot about Hag. First thing I'm going to say, I don't think this build was ideal. First of all, the idea of slowing down your survivors usually comes at the cost of some way to chase them down and get them down early and quickly. And we didn't really see that. So really a slowdown was probably not ideal. I think better would have been to, if you're going to do slowdown, to actually commit to chases. Bring something like Monitor and Abuse, Nurse's Calling, to make sure you can actually sneak up on survivors quickly, because you are a little bit slower than other killers, 4.4 meters per second. You're a 110 killer, I think. And, so that means that you're going to be going for up-close, stealthy kills, and you want to be very cautious about your approach. And if you're going to go for that slowdown, you're going to want to go for something like Monitor Nurse's combo, because that'll help you secure those chases much easier. And we also saw the survivors do an excellent job of just avoiding getting hit by this. Like right there, the Kate did a fantastic job of tripping the edge of where she saw the trap instead of actually walking directly into it and taking an ITH. And the hag struggled. She only got like maybe a handful of ITH. Like about half of her hits landed, and the other half were just whiffs, and she lost that early chase. So it's a struggle. It's a real struggle. It was hard to watch, honestly, because I was just thinking, God, it was either panic or just not being comfortable with the hag. I'm not really sure which one it was. But regardless, and the body blocking play, that was just disgusting, honestly. And just really quick, because we love you all so much, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right, hello everybody. This is Domo, and we got. You want to introduce yourself, Ninetales?
Yeah, I'm also Ninetales, part of PGS.
Part of Loop Artist. So, I guess we're just gonna look at the rest of the kind of game that happened here. What are your initial thoughts on it, Ninetales? What do you think?
I think Dead Dog Saloon for Hag might not because it's such a small map. Kind of, you can run into her early and catch her setting up her web and kind of cut her off and mess with her traps, which I think they kind of did a little bit.
Yeah, and you can just chase her around a bit, and just go after her and oh, let me just pop this trap while you set up. Let me pop this trap.
Yeah.
She didn't commit to any chase at all, so she was trying to commit to that 3-gen, but it was way too early or late, I guess, to do that. She had no hooks. Nothing. No pressure at all.
Yeah, exactly. While it is like a nasty looking 3-gen with those 3-gens really close together, at the end, she had no hooks on anybody and 4 people still up. That 3-gen is really not going to do much because they pressured it very well, and anytime they took a hit, they ran away.
Exactly. And just run away, heal up, come back. And just keep that cycle until the gen gets done, and that's what they did perfectly. Yeah. I think Siphon played that textbook perfect. I don't think there was anything they could have done different that would have... I mean, they didn't get hooked, so they did perfect, essentially.
Yeah. Essentially, they kept the score really, really, the gap is very big right now, with 3-23.
Even with the penalty, that was insane. How many points did they get in total in that game? I don't know if I saw that.
I saw 23 at the end. I don't know if the penalty hasn't been applied yet or anything, but 23.
Yeah, with the penalty, without the penalty, it would have been 28 points.
28 points.
So 28 points. Dang.
That's insane. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to say, but Siphon played that game very well.
Yeah, that was insane. I don't think I've seen a more perfect match than that. Legit, it was just blood points. If they got the blood points, they would have had a perfect game essentially, which is almost impossible. Imagine if that happens at one point. 32,000 everybody. You have to be insane. That would be the longest game ever. That'd be like a 40-minute game on Survivor.
Jeez. Yeah,
let's talk about the build real quick then. What do you think of the build on Hag?
Well, what was the build on Hag again?
They had Sloppy, Thana, Ruin, and Corrupt. So I can kind of see they're trying to keep everybody injured, and then kind of bring that debuff. But she didn't really commit to anybody and have injures much because they would just come back, heal up, go back. and continue that pressure. So there was not enough continuous stream of hits to justify that build.
Especially with like a Sloppy and Thana on Hag. Early on, he didn't get any value out of it because he had no one injured. He was setting up his web, and they no slowdown or anything on the gens. They just pressured the last gens because his corrupt. I'm pretty sure his corrupt was the 3-gen he had set up, right?
I think it was. Yeah, that's why.
So they couldn't work on those gens anyways. He was setting up his web in the area, so they pressured the other gens just to keep that pressure on him, and then he.
So they got like 3 gens done before he was even really getting hits on people.
Yeah, it looked like he was panicking a little towards the end too. The Hag.
Well, he just knew that there was nothing he could do. So I'm like, well, I have to just commit to somebody because they're gonna keep dancing back and forth, and I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, exactly. The 3-gen, they just run the reset. There was no pressure there.
Yeah, exactly. And the Survivor team also brought balance, which I think is a fantastic idea on this map. Which, I mean, my team would always bring 2 balance on this map. There's so many drop downs to use.
Absolutely. The platform gens on this map are always there, so it's always a good choice to bring it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the killer has to go up, and then the pressure, and then you just bounce away. It's almost a lose-lose situation no matter what you do. You either lose a gen or you lose so much distance on a Survivor.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
Exactly. It was just a rough match for the Hag. You know, everything it went in the Survivor's favors, that's for sure, and they played it well.
What do you think Sample Text has to do to keep up with this? Like, they at least need a 3 out and like barely any hooks to kind of come back from this.
I mean,
this is such a strong showing, like demoralizing.
Yeah, they need a strong showing back as well. They have to close this score gap, and if they can close this score back, they may put it out the last game and then have their killer have the pressure on the killer, and the killer has to come up back and bring it for them in the 4th game. They can close that gap.
What kind of killer would you bring? Would you kind of do a throwaway killer, or would you kind of bring a semi-strong killer just to solidify that win? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how their survivors go, you know, because they have to close the gap on this next one, and if they can close the gap and then possibly take the lead on the 3rd one, depending on how big the lead is, you know, pick whichever killer you want to go. But if they're still like behind and there's a big gap,
because Siphon is killing next.
Yeah, so Siphon kills the next 2.
I could see a Doctor being useful here. It's a pretty small map. Just use some range add-on. Just have constant pressure. It's not like the strongest killer in the world, but you could get a lot of pressure on this map.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think I remember Gothard using that last season on my team and had just an intense amount of pressure just constantly across the board, knowing where we were all the time. I think this would be a perfect map to bring Doctor out on, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any updates on when the lobby's created or anything right now? I'm wondering.
Oh, yes, guys. We are right here. We have Kieran, Viceplin, Certified Persona Subjective, and Killing. We have Chrisava, Heart Baby Bat. And for those in the chat that were like, they fired Poggy. No, they just put me on the back burner for this so I could rest my voice. I've been shoutcasting a lot this weekend, and my voice was getting a little tired, and I needed a break. So I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for helping us out. Sorry to have Rune out here. I think he just came into the chat. He's like, wait, what? There's a game right now? I'm like, yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is the team. This is the squad. They're about to go in, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about it once we go live. And I think they're going to start readying up. We'll go back to the clips for the moment, and then once we're ready to segue, I'll let you guys know.
All right, perfect.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, maybe let's see what else the survivors are bringing, I guess. It was so fantastic. Like, they were just kept popping in and out, disturbing that web, and they couldn't commit. Like, what do you think the Hague should have done instead of what you saw?
I mean, once he noticed that people were messing with his trap, and like, it's kind of hard because as a Hag, like, you don't really want to commit to a chase too long, being one of the slower killers. And honestly, I don't play Hag that much, so I wouldn't know how to deal with that kind of situation. But he needed a down earlier. Or at least some more pressure, like.
I would have committed earlier, got a hook, and then started kind of trapping that area. Maybe try to use, I don't know, if they wanted to do that 3-gen setup, have agitation and bring the survivor into that area where they had the web, and then just constantly bring a stream in that way. But he needed that way early on, and he basically lost the game when it was back down to 1-gen. So
yeah.
Do you think that Siphon's gonna beat him in this trial? What do you think? What's your kind of small little prediction here, 9?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a good matchup because Sample Tech's survivors aren't really a joke either. So
no, not at all.
I think, but Siphon's Killer is pretty dependent. I don't know. It's going to be a close matchup. I don't really have a good prediction for either one, but the way Siphon's playing, maybe Sample Tech is a little demoralized right now, and Siphon's Killer will just come in here and wreck it. Who knows?
Well, with that in mind, guys, I got some good news. They are readied up. We're going in. We're going to be looking at them rules, and then you guys are going to get to do some commentary. Can't wait to hear it. Here we go. All right, everyone, we're going to be looking at how the game works from the killer side. Now, killer points. Each survivor is worth a total of 6 points per survivor. First hook is 1 point, second is 2, and third is 3 points. Progressing is only 1 point. Killer bonus points. Every 5,000 blood points is 1 point. Getting to hatch first is also 1 point. A killer can only be used a total of 3 times in the season. Killers have a 150 millisecond ping limit. Also, should a reset occur, the killer and perks must remain the same. Bringing the wrong map is a forced reset, and minus 10 points. Bringing a killer a 4th time is 10 points off, and changing a build after is also 10 points. Not being on the roster is a 5 point and a reset.
All right, we're back at it. I'm excited to see what they're going to bring. I want that doctor. I want to see that doctor to see if I'm right. Are we spawning the Claudette by the balloon? They're kind of all in the corner here. I think they're going to wait up to see the killers. BC Corrupt. And, oh, it's a doctor. I knew it.
It is a doctor. Nice. Called it. Corrupt?
Yep.
That Corrupt is a little split up, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's not the greatest Corrupt at all. It's kind of split across the entire map. But they already have eyes on 2 people. He's going to commit to the corner here where there's more gens, I think. This is going to be probably a hit right here unless he drops a gut pallet. And they do. Not even wasting that. They're just going to throw that right away.
Basement's in the killer shack as well. It's kind of a really central location.
I think you always want that here because then you can just bring the survivors there instantly, creating way more pressure. So that's good RNG on the doctor's part. I'm going to chase down the survivor real quick. Let's see. He gets the hit here. He's in a really kind of dead zone in this corner of the map. You don't want to be here. Doctor's going to cut him off. He needs to get to a pal to extend this chase, or this is going to be a really fast down. But the one thing that Nia... Yeah, you go.
I was going to say, at the same time, Nia is bringing him towards like a corrupted gen. So it's giving some freedom to the other survivors to work on those gens that aren't corrupted and kind of pressure that.
Those gens, yeah. But I was going to say the gen is probably going to pop here in a second. So bought enough time for 1 gen, but I don't think a second gen is going to pop here unless they have 2 people on it. Finds another person kind of near the killer shack where killer shack pallet is already down. I wonder if he's going to break this door to make it even more unsafe. He's chasing around the killer shack. They have kind of 2 people here, so he's got a lot of joint pressure built up. Going around the killer shack instead of going to the window. Smart kind of on that doctor. Doctor's kind of taking a while to get the second chase.
Pretty close to being done.
Yeah. Doing a little moonwalk. Survivor's playing it smart, just not panicking. Yeah. Very cautious with it. They left the person on the survivor. Oh, they have bamboozle. You can see that. They have nothing they can do right there. Just going to have to keep holding that run button.
Oh, yeah.
Almost a 360. And they keep running around this. This is actually a really good chase. He hasn't got a hit really early. Now he's going to run down to the water tower and loop this. I'm not sure if the killer's going to commit, and he is. Gets a shock off, but I imagine he's going to drop the pallet. Oh, doesn't have a drop in time. Gets down. But I think that was a really solid chase. I think they got the reset on the Nia that was on the hook, and now they're back on a gen together. Already at 50%. They have a lot of pressure on this. Going to be a 2 gen soon. Another gen being worked on. Man, he's going to have to get into a chase really fast here if he wants to stop this pressure and having 2 gens pop.
Absolutely.
He is going to find the solo survivor on the gen. So that second gen that is being worked on by 2 people is going to finish. And I imagine they're going to go back and get the person on the hook. But the Claudette is chasing the person kind of to the hook. Nope, going back around, making the good decision there.
I was going to say, if that chase was taken towards the hook, that would have been a very bad situation for them to be in.
Exactly. A slug and a hook survivor right there. No reason to leave at all.
Absolutely.
And gets it down. It is kind of close. He could go back to the hook right now if he wanted to, and he doesn't. Just picks him up right away. Probably going to be a basement hook, I imagine, unless he just wants to get a fast hook somewhere else and continue the snowball.
Yeah, it looks like he just wants to continue his gen pusher and not go for the position in the basement.
Indeed. They have nothing really to work with here. Going back into the Killer Shack, ooh, it just lost a lot of distance doing that. I'm not just going to carry them to the edge of the map where gens are already completed to waste his time, which it does seem like Survivor is doing. Gets a nice shock right there. Just going to hold W and gets down. The Doctor does have a lot of hooks right now. They have a decent, consistent pressure on this. It looks like they're going to double heal. No gen pressure right now, so the Doctor can come back and interrupt this right away.
Yeah, being that close to them too, absolutely.
3 shocks. There we go. Gonna try to cut him off around the side. Gets the person 2-3. Ooh, nice. Gets the hit before the pallet's done. Probably just gonna go loop back around. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty big. He knows where everyone is with that. With the hook and the 3 shocks, he knows that everyone was right there, and then there's no gen worked on right now.
Exactly. This Doctor has just too much information. They need to spread out the gen pressure. They can't all be cooped up at once. Otherwise, the Doctor will just have so much knowledge, and that's just knowledge is power in this game, honestly, especially with
Absolutely.
All right. Looks like they're just going to keep that chase going. Oh, never mind. They switched survivors. I didn't even see that.
Oh, it looks like they're going to need a reset here soon, too, with everyone being injured.
Exactly. And the Killer has 4 hooks right now. So they have nice, steady pressure. I think everyone's been hooked once, though, so they kind of need to target one survivor and tell them kind of out of the game. Otherwise, there's still 2 gens left with, like, 4 survivors, even if they're all injured right now. So if he can get a snowball going, then this can be really big for him, but he needs to get that right now. I do think the survivors are making a mistake not resetting. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think they're giving him the opportunity to snowball by not resetting. But at the same time, I think they're also playing it well, because I think they were on that gen in the back of that building, and then he saw that survivor running away from it, and he started to chase the survivor instead of pressuring that gen.
Gets down, the Doctor's just denying all these loops and windows, nothing the Nia can do but buy time for the team. And another gen does get done. They double team that gen.
Exactly.
Now they're reset it. Oh, and you know what? They did something really smart. They decided to save the top gens for last, so that the Doctor has to have travel time to go up to the gens. So now it's going to take more time. I wonder. No, they finished the Hangman's gen at least, so they only have this one kind of safe gen. Gets another down because that person was not reset yet. Really fast hook. He's got 2 people on the hook right now, both on the second stage. This is troubling. This Fane right here that is healthy needs to get a save, but isn't chase. So this is really detrimental to the team. They need to have that person that was on the gen back on for the saves.
But this is
the whiff.
This is the pressure the Doctor needs, though, to have 2 people on that hook, and that one person that has to go for the save, and then that one person in chase. But they are going for the unhooks now.
It seems like they only have one person on hook, but if he downs this Fane right here, he may have kind of a steady stream of 2 hooks at a time. But it seems like he's abandoning that chase, or he's just kind of lost and trying to find Fane right now. We saw the Hex Totem in the corner there. The totems in this map are so well hidden, honestly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're always putting them in, like, the bushes and the boxes.
Exactly.
I have a hard time finding totems on this map myself.
The best hidden gems, honestly. Not gems, I mean totems. We've seen Bamboozle go into effect again. He's got so many hooks. He needs to get 1 kill right now, otherwise this last gen will pop.
Yeah, having 4 people up with 1 gen, even with the 3 gen, is such a bad situation to be in.
Exactly. He just needs to find one more person that was on second hook and go into the third, and I think he can win this game quite easily. But he needs to find that person. They're doing quite well to just buy time, I think, right now. Bring them to the corner of the map, just wasting as much time as we can, using Bamboozle to get over that window faster. Shocking. Oh, I think they dropped that pallet on the right side as well to stop the Doctor from getting the hit early. They get the hit here, yep. But I imagine they're just going to kind of hold W. And they do get the final gen done. Like we said, we were saying, they have too much pressure with 4 survivors on the board. They left that survivor on the hook just to try to finish that gen in time. I imagine they're going to go to Death Hook, I imagine. Unless they can get there and save him right now.
Yeah, with 3 people on Death Hook now. This is it could.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna leave him.
Yeah, I would, especially with all the pressure he's got and everyone else, like 2 other people on Death Hook. Like he's getting a kill at one way or another.
He might get a 2 kill here. He might get 2 kills right here.
Yeah,
it's a shock, and it's gonna be a hit for sure. Oh, they tried to bait the window, but does not quite work out. I think they're gonna get both exit gates open to maximize those points, and they're gonna take the 2 out. This Doctor actually did superb. What, that's like 2, 4, My goodness. Maybe 8 hooks right there. Wow. This guy did amazing. And so the 8 hooks and 2 progresses. What a game for the Doctor. Like, that's exactly what you want to see. He needed to kill a little earlier, but that was fantastic in my opinion.
Yeah, having 1 hook on all 4 people with 2 gens up, that wasn't the most ideal situation, but you know, he did the best he could with it. Yeah.
And we can see that the Doctor had Corrupt, Undying, Ruin, and Bamboozle. A fantastic build on Doctor. That's what I would bring too. He had an anti-loop he's an anti-loop already, but then he brought Bamboozle as well. And it's like, nope, you're not getting to anything. I'm going to stop you from looping at all on this map. And then, like you said, with the totems.
Yeah, he did really well. And I believe we have a special guest with us today, guys. We have a guest host.
Oh.
Who is it? What's your name, sir? I don't think we've met. Hello? Yeah, you. Keeps pointing. Yes, you. Oh my God.
Poggy's been cheating on me.
I have not.
Hello,
I've not been cheating on you. Rue made it.
Is over. Poggard is over. You have 2 people in place of me. Does it really take 2 people to satisfy the void that I made?
Yes.
Is that it, Poggy?
Yeah, bro. We got big shoes to fill.
Exactly. Right? And this match was a tie.
This match was a tie. Wow.
Can I do the post-game review, please? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Don't need you to tell us it's a tie. I can do it. God, I can read numbers. All right, we'll be right back after this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're watching the Week 5 matchups featuring Sample Text versus Siphon. ESPN. That's actually their URLs. /e/SPN. It's kind of funny. Anyway, trial number 2. Here is what you witnessed. 5 generators getting done with a 2-man escape. And we also saw, how many hooks was it? I think it was 8. Yeah, 8 hooks. Exactly. Very nice. That's 2/3 of your hooks with a 2K. Not bad at all. The survivors did really well too, but 19-19, a tie. Thank you for ruining the fun, Sam. In trial number 2, with Siphon leading going into trial number 3, but nobody won this particular trial, so it is a hung jury on that one. But we'll see trial number 2 in a second, and I think we're going to let Rue and these other guys join in for some post-game analysis on some highlights, and then we'll be back into the game. Guys, go ahead. Have fun. Have at it.
Sweet. Rue, how much did you see of that game? I'm curious.
I saw that a Doctor got a 2K.
There we go.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I actually predicted the Doctor before the game.
He did.
The Doctor would be perfect for this map, just because of how much information he would have at all times, and the anti-loop ability. And he did perfectly, honestly. He just needed to tunnel someone out a little earlier, I think, because he had double hooks on essentially everybody with 1 gen left, and that was just a huge problem. What do you think, Nine and Rue?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Earlier, he needed to kill way earlier because he still had 4 people up. All of them were on 1 hook, and 2 gens were left. There wasn't enough pressure on the kill early on, so
he was playing like a nice pub killer, like a really good, nice pub killer.
Yeah, like the ones that survivors are happy with.
Exactly. I feel like that's like a mini Rue right there. Like, Rue's so nice. He's like, I'm a god at killer, but you know what? I'm just too nice to tunnel someone to death. So I'm just gonna double hook everybody and just show how good I am. But I really should have gone for that triple hook on someone when there was only like 2 gens left.
Yeah, I would have gone for the Claudette. I don't want her hiding in any of those bushes.
Legit. She didn't have hair too.
Argue with Domo Sensei.
Oh no.
You put me in an awkward spot here, bro. Hello, nice to meet you. But yeah, what do you think of the build, though, Rue? What do you think of Bamboozle, Ruin, Undying, and Corrupts? I think that's like an amazing build on Doctor.
So there might be a counter argument to this. I don't understand Bamboozle because your ability is supposed to do what Bamboozle does. So I think you probably could have saved the best for last there and been better off.
I think so as well. But I think it's also kind of maybe suiting sort of to this map because there are so many windows in these little jungle gyms. True. That you can just like vault it really quickly, get that extra speed boost when vaulting, and then just get over the window and stop it completely. Because, the survivors will just try to waste time just going around and around and around and try to mind game you on those windows. So you kind of have like 2 anti-loop abilities, but I do think save would have been better, especially when he had 3 people in one area. Remember the one spot 9 where he shocked 3 people that were healing? Save would have been clutch right there.
Oh yeah, especially in that. Yeah, definitely in that situation because he had that one person on hook, the other 3 people in that one area. Save the Best could have done so much work for him at that point.
Exactly. That's what I think I would have brought that too. So very good opinion on that one, Rue.
I will say that is fair. Bamboozle, there are 2 stairways in this map that lead to a vault location that are effectively infinites until you decide to leave them. Yeah. So cutting that off at 1 chase would actually be pretty sick. And if it's a meta choice for this map specifically, I'm fine with it, but I just prefer Save the Best for last on Doctor. It's my preferred perk.
I think it probably was a meta choice. I probably would have brought Save as well, but there are, like I said, a ton of little jungle gyms with small windows there that you can kind of loop back and forth. And if you miss the mind game up, then oh well, you kind of have to waste another 20 seconds chasing the person down.
Yeah, so, and Dead Dog has one of the worst main buildings ever for killer. It's so true. It's such a pain in the butt to get somebody in the main building.
Oh man, it's really bad. What do you think the killer's gonna bring for their next choice? Think they're gonna bring the same guy? Do you think it's gonna be something kind of a weaker killer since they're still quite a bit ahead? I think 20 points right now. So
yeah, I don't know because I think Siphon. At least what I'm thinking is because they still have such a 20-point lead. Arguably, they might bring a throwaway killer and have all the faith in their survivors for the last match because their survivor team is strong and they've shown out every time. So I honestly think a throwaway killer is going to come in and they're just going to put the faith in their survivors.
I don't think they can get away with a complete throwaway killer, and here's why. Because yes, you can argue that it is somewhat survivor-sided for the end of the game, but all Sample Text has to do is come out and be like, hi, I have Freddy, and enjoy this 4K, possibly. So
true.
A 20-point lead, I'm not settled on a 20-point lead. I prefer a 30-point lead before I did a throwaway killer.
Yeah, I guess I should have clarified. I don't mean like a completely throwaway killer, but like a mid-tier one, enough to get like a good enough killer to get them some points and like keep the lead ahead a bit, and then their survivors just come in and show out.
You know what? If you have a good Huntress on your team, now would be a time for a good Huntress.
Yes, that would be a great one.
Because this map is a lot of wide open areas. I would love to see a Huntress here.
Yeah, hopefully it would make him DC. So I've seen that a lot on pubs. It's a new thing I'm into. I've been playing some Huntress, and I could definitely see Huntress being pretty good on this map with all the openness. And the jungle gyms could make it problematic, but it depends on if you can get them out in the open.
If you think about the hitboxes right now, she already kind of had trains for hitboxes on her hatchets, but now with the kind of desync issues, imagine it now on this map. You're already running around the corner, you get hit by a hatchet, you just instant DC. You're like, no, I'm not dealing with that.
Domo, I'm happy you brought that up. Can you elaborate on the desync issues and why it's so important?
It's huge. At least in my survivor team, we all really hate the hitboxes, and it makes it hard to play sometimes because it's so frustrating as you're already vaulted the window and you start running and you get hits. But on the killer's perspective, you're right there, and they just hit you with the tip of their rod or their knife, right? So it's just something with the server, they messed up in the code or something that makes it so that for the killer, you're like a few steps behind from what you actually are on the screen, and it's I don't know how they messed it up so bad, but it feels horrible to play. It's something that we've had to adapt to, and it's just like pre-drop every single pallet if you don't want to get hit because hitboxes, because of the desync, are trash. What do you think of that? Ruin 9, what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely a big deal because it's like if the desync like that is happening and it's that big and you can't really because I know that survivors in this game, they judge everything off of the distance they have, and when you can't accurately judge the distance you have, you're more prone to make a mistake easier.
Exactly.
And a lot of these survivors are getting frustrated because they're getting hit when they feel like they shouldn't be getting hit. It all looks wonky. They can't judge appropriately. So you're right. They drop the pallet early because they can't judge accurately if they can get another loop around or not.
100%. You're always making calculations as a survivor. Can I make this an extra loop? Should I throw this down now? Do I have enough distance? And now it's like, I don't even know if I want to risk making this another loop because I'm probably going to get hit by some crap hitbox. That should not happen. I'm going to rage and then stand still for a second and then get 2-tapped, That's how it feels. And it's amplified at this setting because, it's such a big deal for how long those chases are. If it lasts 10 seconds versus 25, like, that's huge. And if that little drop of the pallet would have stunned the killer instead of getting you hits, that's massive, right? So it's a big deal, especially in this setting, I feel. From killer, like, you could probably attest to this. From killer, you probably don't feel anything different. But if you switch to survivor...
I think it's a bit of a two-way street. Might not be all the time, or like even 50% of the time, but I have swung into survivors' backs repeatedly, and it just does not register the hit.
So it's not just me. Thank God. I thought I was going crazy. I legit thought I was just going crazy. I swear I chainsawed Bill like 3 times yesterday. Anyway.
It's not like completely both ways because it's definitely very noticeable on the survivor side, and it's not like every hit's like that for me. It's just 1 in every 50 swings I'm like, wait, I know that should have hit. What's going on here? So it's still definitely more of a survivor problem, but it's the fact that it affects both sides is mind-boggling. But that's what happens when you have spaghetti in your code. So
that's true. Spaghetti code. I think a few of my nurse mains on my team, they absolutely hate the update as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because they feel like they blink right on top of the person and they don't get the hit, and it's just rage-inducing. You're like, my muscle memory, what do I do now? Because everything seems wrong.
Yeah, exactly. When I play nurse, it's the worst.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, I can't wait for this hotfix. They better not screw something else up. Like, you get to fly now.
I'm really scared for the hotfix. If a month and a half of testing caused this, I'm very weary of what happens in 2 weeks of testing.
Oh, yeah, true. This update feels like someone went into your house and moved everything to the left 2 inches, so you just stub your toe on everything.
Oh my God,
guys.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
With that in mind, we are going into a segue. We'll be right back after this. We're going to roll that last rules, and then we'll go into trial number 3, and you guys can give us your thoughts on the game. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the survivors side earns their points, and let's look at all their objective score points, counting down from 5 generators. 5 and 4 are worth 1 point each, 3 and 2 gens are worth 2 points each, and 1 is worth 3 points. 1 escape is worth 1 point, 2 escapes is worth 2 points, 3rd escape is worth 4 points, and the 4th escape a total of 5 points. Every 16,000 scored is worth 1 point. First to hatch also gets 1 point. Survivor penalties: bringing banned or limited items, perks, or add-ons is minus 10 points. Changing build after reset is also minus 10 points. And starting with the wrong skin or avatar or a non-listed roster player is minus 5 points as well. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the survivor side earns their...
Alrighty. I'm excited to see this third matchup. Will Siphon just extend that lead even more? Will Sample Text bring it back? We'll see. I want to see the killer. Is it going to be that mid-tier that we're thinking, or is it going to be kind of something really low-tier?
Let's see.
Oh, it's a Huntress.
Oh, baby.
Nice. You called it. Nice.
You did. Well, there we go. Now let's just see. I think this corrupt spawn is way better. They're all together, so he doesn't need to kind of pressure this area at all. So you can kind of start browsing these gens. I wonder if they're going to hide this out, because this is a map that has a ton of bushes. And they can probably just hide in those bushes until Corrupt runs out. Basically leave Huntress as a 3-perk killer, which Huntress kind of needs all those perks that she can get with her slow speed, unless she can get those downs really fast. Like, unless you're Umbra, like, you need some help. And it seems like they are waiting it out. They're just going to be hiding around the edges of the map. I wonder if the Huntress is going to check there, or just going to be going through the jungle gyms, which she seems to be just kind of going to Corrupt zone, which may not be the best idea in the world, but she knows by now they have to be hiding on Corrupt. What do you think, Nine? What would you be doing in the Huntress position right now?
In the Huntress position, go check your gens and whatnot, but if you do see and feel like they're waiting out the Corrupt, maybe you spend a little time checking the edges of the map, behind all these rocks and in the bushes, because this is a very immersive map. If you can play immersive on this map, this is the one to do it on.
Oh, 100%. There's just so many bushes that you can hide in, especially with that Claudette. You can just sit there you would never know they're there unless you actually run into the person. You're like, what am I running into right now? Oh, it's a Claudette. You know?
Yeah, I've done that a couple times where you're just walking, you're blocked by something, you don't know what it is, you look down, and you're like, what is... Oh, Claudette.
Yeah, exactly. And they're still going to be waiting out Corrupt, it looks like. They're just going to wait that full couple minutes out. I'm not really seeing anything on my screen, so you might need to take over for me, 9.
I'm not... It's paused for me, too.
Yeah, it's all paused.
Well, I can see it, so I guess I'll take over for a moment. I'm seeing it. I don't know why you guys aren't seeing it. I'll take over for a second. And just let me take over for a minute, guys, while we deal with whatever's going on. Discord might just be messing up. So, Fang currently working her way inside the Killer Saloon. Or sorry, the Killer Saloon? Really? Okay, Poggy. That's a great way to start. And Fang does take the hit, but is going to get away, I think. Yeah, that building, again, being really strong for the Huntress. And definitely demonstrating that power as we speak. And a gen gets done in that time. Fantastic. So no down for the Huntress. This is the first Huntress we've seen, by the way, and they did mention that as well. They mentioned that it was the very first Huntress, but let's see if she can actually get some pressure as we do see... What's that group? Zarina? All for Delma, are you back? Can you guys see the stream now?
Yeah, we can see the
Help me out here.
It just
I called it a Killer Saloon, so I definitely need you guys to take over because I'm dumb as hell today.
All good. Dead Dog Saloon. All right, well, I can see it all now. They have 2 injuries on the board. I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but already 1 gen done. They did wait out Corrupt successfully, it appears, which was the smart move, and Huntress didn't get any pressure from that. They look to be on 3 separate generators, so I think 2 gens are going to pop no matter what.
There goes another one? Yeah. That is like my worst nightmare is when I hook someone, I look around the map, and I see 3 people on 3 different gens.
It's insane. It's demoralizing. You're like, oh god, this is not going well.
Yeah, because if that first chase took that long, and you look around, you're like, oh crap, all those gens are going to pop.
Oh, look at this 170.
That's a lot of pressure on them.
Exactly, and it's 3 different people on 3 separate gens. There's nothing the Huntress can do right now with her speed to get around the map. She needs downs fast, or it's done for her. Waiting out Corrupt essentially killed Huntress. I think she just had no pressure at all. This probably a sprint burst. Yeah, sprint burst. I'm like, why are they walking? They're gonna drop down, but this will be a down for the Huntress, no problem. Yep, gonna be the second hook for the Huntress. And already 3 gens done, though. She is far behind. I don't even think she can come back from this unless she can get everybody injured and down fast, because everyone else is healed up right now. What do you have to say about that, 9? Like, I don't think there's anything she can do, honestly.
Yeah, the survivors are playing this smart, because with this much pressure, the Huntress kind of needs like a little bit of a snowball. And if they stay split up and don't allow her to get multiple downs and close hooks or close slugs, and it's going to be a rough time for the Huntress.
Oh, might be a 2-tap here. Oh, so close. That's the one lovely thing you can do with Huntress, just 2-tap them. Oh, baited out the swing, or the throw and the hatchet. Probably not going to do this time, going to drop it. No, baited it out again. My goodness, this Zarina is baiting out everything. And goes in for the swing this time, but Zarina knew that she'd swing and gets the stun. Oh my goodness, that lost her so much pressure. Now the Huntress has to break that pallet. Is not a 115 killer. Probably going to get the down here, though. Yep, gets it down. Very good with their aiming, I must say. But the other gen is probably going to pop here.
And Zarina did play pallet. What is going on?
What? They're healing them on the gen?
No, this is the new secret tech where you heal and do a gen at the same time.
Yo, they're still in the gen. Oh my goodness.
I remember a long time ago in the old DBD days, 72 hours, figured out a glitch where he would 99 his self-care, and on a gen that hasn't even been worked on yet, he would tap his self-care, go to the gen, tap his self-care, go to the gen, and it would complete the gen for him.
And that Fane just got 2-tap basically right there too. Oh, and a DS though completely negates that, so I don't really think it mattered if the Fane went down at all. And they have 1 person on the struggle phase, and the Huntress needs to reload, which is going to take a lot of time out of her way. And she's going to go back to reload. That's way too much distance on the Fane right there. I'm playing it very smart. They're just gaining distance as much as they can. Let's see.
3 hooks and 1 gen left. Oof.
Yeah, she's in a tough spot. She really needs to tunnel down that Zarina, I think, and get that kill if she wants even a chance of getting a 2K from this game. but that's not going to happen. They do heal her up. I imagine the Huntress will be probably coming back to check this, but no, she's not. If I was the Huntress right now, I'd be going back to find that Zarina right now. I know that game is basically lost. I need to get those extra points from a third hook, and then I can potentially camp someone out of the game once the last gen pops, which I imagine they're going to be double teaming this last gen, or even triple teaming. I imagine. Going to mind game this. Not exactly the safest loop in the game, but oh, nice. There's no hatchet hitbox problems there. Does get hit by the hatchet when trying to stun the killer. Doesn't work, but they're in the corner of the map, and we can see them working on a gen over on the opposite side. And yep, that's the final gen getting completed. Only this is the fourth hook of the game, and this person hasn't been hooked yet, so they're gonna have to try to camp this person out to death, or they're gonna go out and try to get more hooks elsewhere just to maximize points. But that is risky, which could happen to be a 4-man out. What would you do? Would you camp one out, 9? What would you do?
I would camp it out because I know Huntress is actually pretty strong at defending her hooks, and they also have They have the Fang injured, and she looks like she's going pretty close to the hook. And I would defend my hook as a Huntress. I would just defend this hook because there's still 4 up. They're opening the gates now. This is your only pressure in a sense.
Yeah, this is all she's going to have. I think this is the only point she's going to get. The survivors played so well here, waited out the corrupt, really brought the Huntress down to her knees. She couldn't do a single thing but just try to gain whatever hook she could back. And this is what Sample Techs needed. They needed a strong performance on their survivor squad. I think they want to... Oh, that was a deliverance play. She just delivered off the hook. Will they get out from this, though? Oh, that'd be... Oh, no, they go down. Unless they have DS. They have Unbreakable. So if they have DS as well, I think they could still get out of this. It is possible. If they get the injury on the Nia, probably going to try to down the Nia as well. Getting more hooks.
Yeah, Nia's running into a spot away from the gates.
Unless they have the other gate 99, and then they can open that as well. Oh, no, don't have hatchets either. Oh, they dropped right in front.
They just dropped right in front of her.
And they got up the... not the Fame, but the Blendettes, I'll say, got up from Unbreakable and is going to the gates. The Nia trying to make it as well. This could be a 4-man escape. It looks like they're doing protection hits. The Huntress is shaking her head, knows this is over. And that's it. A 4-man out because of Deliverance. Oh my goodness. That is what Sample Techs need.
We have been seeing Deliverance make a lot of game-changing plays lately.
Oh, 100%.
Also, I need to clarify this. Can you hit the hatchet through those gaps in the wood? I've never seen that happen.
I'm pretty sure you can, but you have to be so godly precise.
Yeah, it's precise. It's just like throwing a hatchet through the water tower on Dead Dog. You can actually throw it through those 2 wooden spots next to the pallet in between them. You can throw it between those wooden things, but again, it's very... That's why tight. Yeah, those tight shots are what make a good Huntress.
And she missed it by just a tiny bit. Like her hatchets were just like a tiny bit too far in. But yeah, I mean, she tried really hard. I think that was a balanced line, and they probably saved that Nia as well. Yeah, that was. Dang, the 4-man out from that just because of Deliverance. That's why at the end of the game, if you can, you don't hook somebody that's on first hook, because what if they have Deliverance? And almost every single team I've seen so far now has been taking at least 1 Deliverance, mostly 2 that I've seen. I know CDM, my team, various other teams have been taking 2 Deliverances. You'll at least get 1 during the game, and it takes off so much pressure from the board. And this killer had Agitation, Corrupt, Bamboozle again, which is interesting on a Huntress. I don't agree with that. And Pop. What do you think of that build, Brew? What do you think of that?
I would prefer Brutal Strength over Agitation. I don't know why. I guess if you're wanting to make hooks quicker, fine, but it's not a strength I play to. I play to the chase strength.
All right. Well, with that in mind, we're going to go into the post-game review. We'll be right back in a moment, and then we'll go into some highlights, and you guys can talk a bit more about what you saw. Okay, well, guys, we just are watching Week 5 matchups, wrapping up the week now. Sample Techs versus Siphon going head-to-head on the Dead Dog Saloon tonight. And this is what you witnessed here in trial number 3. We saw 5 generators getting done from the Survivor Squad, and I do believe it was a 4-man escape. Yeah, all 4 of them. I was half asleep for it because it is 4 in the morning over here, but 4 hooks getting done. That's why I'm glad you guys are here. And a 0K, unfortunately, for this squad. The Sample Techs, though, 28-8. in favor of Sample Text in trial number 3, leading going into trial number 4, but a hung jury right now. The score overall is tied at the moment. That's interesting. Guys?
That was the 20-point lead they had. They needed exactly 20 points to tie them, and that's what they got.
That's insane. It's tied again. Now it's all down to just one match. Man, I kind of want to look at this build again. Like, what would you bring on Huntress right now on Dead Dog? Because I don't agree with really any of that. Like, any of it.
So, Bamboozle and Brutal Strength I can kind of get behind, just because if they're good survivors, they're going to deny you as many line of sights on you as possible, and they're going to go into, like, shack chase and all these other things. Mm-hmm. So trying to get through those really quickly and churn through the pallets is not a bad idea, but there's also there's no vision perks either. Like, no barbecue, no rancor, no anything.
She didn't have any information at all, really. Like, no. Legit, once Corrupt was gone, it was probably GG for this Huntress. Like, she was decent at aiming and had some good mind games, but these survivors were all over her. Like, they knew exactly what she was doing. Mind gamed her each time, didn't really fail much, so they bought so much time on the chases. Agitation, saw I don't think any effect at all.
Nope.
I don't think I'd ever bring Agitation on Huntress. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, what's the reasoning behind that? Like, I think there's so many better perks, like Brutal Strength, like you're saying, to get rid of those pallets that they're going to pre-drop on you. Various things,
For sure. To be fair, I don't think I bring Agitation on any killer.
Yeah.
for being fair.
I could see maybe on a Hague where you have like a 3-gen setup and you want to bring them to the 3-gen. I could see that.
I could see that, yeah. If you're playing territory.
Other than that, not on Huntress. I don't understand that. It's just, like you said, it doesn't make sense. Like, she needed some tracking. Even Barbecue. Barbecue isn't like a great comp perk, but for Huntress, just to know where people are, because you don't want to waste time going to one side of the map. Like, oh crap, they're not here. I need to go all the way to the other side of the map again. And that's a gen,
Yeah, for sure.
9. Any opinions on this yourself, 9? What do you think?
On the build, there wasn't there. I didn't see any information perks. Where I feel like Huntress is a very information reliant killer, because she is so slow and takes a while to traverse the map. She does need the information, so she's not wasting time going somewhere there's no one at. But as well as we didn't see much value out of Pop. But a lot of times, these good survivors, if they can deny you hooks, you're not going to get value out of Pop anyways. But, it was just rough. That was just a rough match.
What I'm saying. Exactly. When they waited out Corrupt, and then as soon as the Corrupt was gone and they started going on gens, there was 3 separate people on gens. There's no way she could use Pop on 3 separate gens. So at that point, they had all the pressure. Pop wasn't going to do enough at all. And it was just over at that point. Like, there was nothing you could see. I don't know. I'm very confused by this. It wasn't a throwaway killer, but they just didn't use a good build, and it was just an unfortunate set of circumstances there.
They definitely paid for that build.
I think you had it when you said that once they waited out Corrupt, it was lost.
Yeah.
Because that is 2 minutes of nothing done, and you're a 3-perk killer. And, you need that early snowball.
Oh, you need it so bad. And especially just with the Huntress made a mistake as well. She was in the middle, like in the alleys, just kind of going back and forth, trying to go back and forth between the gens. Like, I wonder if they're on the gen. At that point, they have to be on the outskirts, hiding in the bush. That's where you just take a random guess and hope you're right at finding somebody, because they're not going to be on gen at that point. So you're going to be like, well, maybe I can get lucky and find somebody. And if you do, that's a really fast down on the outskirts where there's no pallets. And then they're not on a gen yet. They're like, oh crap, we have no pressure. Huntress has everything. You just need to risk it at that point. I don't know what Sample Text is going to bring for their killer this time. I know Hague struggled a lot. I imagine they're going to bring in an A or S tier killer. What would you bring here, bro?
Dead Dog? Freddy.
I agree. Yeah.
Or Nurse. If you've got a Nurse, go for it. But I bring Freddy.
Oh, the Nurse on this map would be... that can be painful, though, because there's so many line of sight blockers. You either have to be a god Nurse that knows where they are at every single moment, or you just have recovery add-ons and range. Like, range on this map can be insane. You just blink from the center to any part of the map instantly, have pressure there. So I can see Nurse still working. You just need to be very adept at knowing where they're going to run and how the pattern of survivors is. But yeah, I'd do Freddy or Nurse probably. And Spirit, I think Freddy or Nurse, because Spirit on this map, there's so many different little jungle gyms. They can do odd movements and just vault a window last second that you don't see, and then you have to go all the way around. So I feel like Freddy or Nurse would be better options for sample text.
If you're an insane Spirit, sure, that might be fine. But it's also just, again, Spirit doesn't have the same movement as Freddy. Freddy can literally cross-map teleport. Nurse, can't cross-map teleport. You can bring Kavanaugh's to kind of negate it if you really feel like it. But Nurse just also straight up negates the chase, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Freddy's good, though, because he'll have those add-ons that slow the game down, and you can bring different perks to slow it down as well. And then it can be harder to hide on this map with Freddy because of the outlines at times when you're in the dream world. So I think there's a lot of benefits to that.
It also I think Freddy also defends the saloon gen a little easier since he doesn't have to go through it and you can just teleport to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he can pressure those gens, those platform gens that are easier to, pressure as a survivor.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's, Siphon is a really solid survivor squad. I think they can handle the Freddy, but I think that the Freddy on this map, if played correctly, can beat this team, and you just apply pressure on the gens, maybe get a 3-gen earlier on, but you still commit to hooks and chases and get that snowball pressure with, like, maybe you want the pop, right? And you're going to get constant pressure with just teleporting across the map. So I really do think that they can win if they bring Freddy. I think it was just an off game on Hague because I don't think I've really seen a performance like that from Sample Text on Killer. It was just unfortunate. Yeah. So what's the lobby looking like right now? Well, I'm very anxious to see this last game here. I think everyone is want to see what happens.
Yeah, this is a good match. Tied up, two good teams. This is going to be it's all down to this last match.
Yeah, I think they both have the same record. I think they're both 3-1 right now as well. So this is a little competitive here. Like, which one of us is going to have the better record now? Who's going to come out on top?
We're having some lobby issues, but we're getting them in right now. We have all 4 joining. They're not rated up yet, but one person kind of had to dip for a second. I guess they were having trouble connecting or something.
DBD. That's the easiest answer. DBD doing DBD things.
Dead by Dedicated.
Exactly. We love this game.
Dead by Bug Light?
Something like that.
Something like that.
More like bug heavy, but I'll take it. Goodness. So regarding Freddy, because that was another thing, because you guys had it right. Corrupt on this map is great, but horrible at the same time, because you're like, you could straight up blend it into these bushes, and face checking every bush during a corrupt period is not possible, especially when survivors can just move around.
Yep. It's kind of luck at that point a bit, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why Freddy would help, because corrupt would still be up when they get into the dream world. So you might be able to find somebody with their outline. So, I don't know. I just feel like there's so many benefits to Freddy in this map. I'm not sure if Siphon is the type of team to hide out corrupt. They seem very aggressive and just like go, 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 While Sample Text, their Star Squad does seem like the type to wait it out and then just pressure gems real hard. So, we'll see. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. I'm very interested to see. But they're all in the lobby. They're readying up. So, looks like we're going to get into it here in a few minutes.
Hello everyone, we're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Week 5 matchup: Siphon Text versus Sample Text versus Siphon. Why? Oh my goodness, Siphon Text. Are we going to see a merge of them? Okay, I'm sorry. That would be a good merge name, though. Siphon Text.
That's
it sounds cryptic.
No.
I like that.
It still flows off the tongue, too.
It does. It does.
All right, we're getting in. We're going to see.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see what they have. I am not a nurse main, so Rue, tell me about these add-ons real quick.
What add-ons were they? I didn't even get a chance to peek at them.
I didn't get a chance to look
they're very fast.
Okay, so we got so we got cooldown reduction, and I believe the green one is range. I actually forget what the green one is. I don't use that one.
That might be that might be cooldown reduction and fatigue reduction as well.
I don't think that's the fatigue reduction.
Is it? I just started playing nurse, but I know one of them is green. Like one of the cooldown or not the fatigue reduction is green.
Anyways, they already got one down. It looks like they're going to try to start slugging. Range on this map, though, like I said earlier, was really good because you can just teleport from anywhere.
Yeah, it's the green Kavanaughs. I don't know why they didn't bring Kavanaughs over that.
Oh, so it's range and cooldown reduction. Okay.
Yes, makes sense. Well, they already got one hook, and we got that little fatigue on the screen.
They're popping off.
They're doing good so far. They have one gen done, but one hook, so they're kind of keeping that pressure. They have another person injured. It looks like they're going to try to start slugging. They are on a Hex Totem right now, so that's either probably going to be Ruin or Undying, maybe a sneaky Haunted, and that is a Haunted. It looks like, ooh, that's something I'd bring too. If you can get Snowball off of this early game, that might be it. I wonder if Siphon's going to kind of hide it out, or they're just going to stick on gens and play safe. I'm not sure.
But popping that Haunted also makes it very hard to go for that hook and contest it. So we might see that person go into second as well.
I could see that a very real possibility. They won't want to risk a slug right underneath the hook. And it seems like the nurse is doing a little small blink, kind of keeping their distance right by the hook so they can blink back instantly and get it down. And it seems like they are going for that second stage. They do get another generator done, so that's 2 gens. Only 1 hook so far, but this person is going to second stage. If they get unhooked and they can down them again without DS, that's a kill early. They can snowball from there with only 3 survivors. Yeah, doing a ton of small blinks, just staying in the area, securing that second stage. And now that they are in the second stage, they're going to go and blink around, try to find somebody, and as soon as they're unhooked, I imagine they're going to come back. They see the ace. The ace is just getting distance. Smart thing to do on the nurse. Lots of line of sight blockers on this map, which is what I'm saying is really risky for nurse and just annoying, but they're doing well navigating that. They get the hit right behind the little boxes there. Might get a 2-tap here. Oh, trying to go back. Oh, nice. Nice mind game. Nurse won a bit early, and ace knew what to do there. Nice down. What's your opinion on this map as a nurse player, Rue? Do you like this map at all, or no? Because for me, my teammates really dislike this map with nurse sometimes.
So, I know that it can be fine for nurse personally. It's just that I really hate blinking to second stories because it just doesn't seem to work for me yet. I haven't practiced enough to get the second story blinks consistently. But I think it's an okay map because you've got if they go towards just the wall of jungle gyms on the opposite side of the map, that's when I think you face a bit of trouble. But I just don't chase into there. So I like this open area more.
Yeah, you definitely want to stay in the open because that back area with all those buildings is definitely just the biggest line of sight blocker ever. It's almost like the middle of suffocation pit.
True. And like right there, you can jump from the gallows to that second story balcony. It just didn't happen. I've actually practiced that. Oh my goodness, I'm dying over here. I've actually practiced that before, and I can get it to work, but man, it is tough. There's a lot of blinks to practice.
It seems like this nurse is often just kind of camping the person to second stage. I'm not exactly sure the strategy right now. They're going to lose another gen at the saloon. They're going to only have 1 gen left. I really don't think this has been played right, but we're going to have to see. Because they only have 2 hooks so far, 2 progressions to second stage. So maybe they're just hoping that once they're unhooked, they can just get 2 kills real quick and then maybe finish it off with another kill after that and secure a win for them. That might be the go-to strategy here. since they're already committed to it and they only have 1 gen left, but they're still sticking around this area, which I'm not sure. What do you think's going on inside their head right now, Rue?
Not gonna lie, I smell NOED in the air.
Yeah.
Just saying. I can't see the perks because Poggy blocks all the perks from everybody until the end of the game, but I smell NOED. This smells like NOED to me. Like, they're gonna be like, okay, come, like, let's get the last gen done, go for the save. Instant down, 3K.
Yeah, I can see that as well. I mean, I don't know if Siphon would allow that. Like, they're really camping this one to death, like, fully.
Yeah, and I've noticed Siphon being on quite a bit of totems as well. I know they had a lot of hexes to deal with, but I just noticed a lot of totem cleansing.
Oh, and all that time on the hook, they saved them off the hook now. I wonder if the nurse is going to come back and try to finish that job. I'm not sure why they kind of committed so much time to camping them. I'm not sure why they didn't just secure the kill, if that was the goal, because they weren't applying pressure anywhere else. And it looks like the survivors are going to try to reset because 3 of them are injured right now. Looks like the nurse was just auto-aimed onto the cactus or just plain missed. Gets another hit. 4 people injured right now. This is an opportunity to snowball if the nurse knows where everybody is, which I'm not sure they do. Looks like we just have sights on 1 person, and I'm not sure if another gen is almost done or what's going on, but this Kate seems to be bringing the nurse to the saloon where there are 2 survivors. Oh no!
See, you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Oh, that hurt. And now the nurse seems a bit lost, not knowing where they are exactly, but look at that range, just goes right.
They do have a 3 gen.
They kind of do, yeah.
That's why they camped them. There's no reason for them to leave. There's a 3 gen right there. And your nurse, so you can get up to the 2nd story.
Yeah, I didn't really see all the gens right there because it was oftentimes a blackened screen on my side, so it's kind of hard to see.
So the survivors have reset. 2 of them completely are dead on hook, but they have to tackle a 3 gen against a nurse.
Yeah, this is kind of tough. And I don't think any of the gens have progress. I know last time, I mean, that has like barely any progress, but last
no
time
progress
with Hague, they had essentially 2 gens that were like 60, right? And there was nothing that Hague could do at that point. Right now, all the gens are basically at 0, and they have all the pressure. They need to formulate a plan to attack this 3 gen somehow. I imagine the plan is going to be go into the area when you get hit, take them away to the opposite side of the map. But with nurse, that can be hard to do at times. So it might just be a dance back and forth of hooks and progression on the gens, because at this point that might be what's needed, especially with nurse.
Yeah, and if you look at the gens too, one of them is like up on the back, like the back balcony of one of the buildings, and so all these gens are in kind of hard to reach spots for survivors. That lead
a single gen?
Yeah, I think it is. I'm not sure. I know it can be 2. If it's like pushed up against the railing, it might be 2-person. It's a 2-person.
Okay.
But even then, that's two survivors that have to get up that single like staircase. It's a hard spot to get to. And then the one in the back, if you go to that one, the nurse pushes you off of it. You're still run. Even if you run, you're still in a dead zone, and she can catch up to you with recharge and range blink. So they're definitely in a rough spot as a survivor.
For sure. I think they walked around cleansing all the totems, making sure I think this would be a great time just to make sure all the totems are cleansed. I think that's what they did.
They don't want any surprises. No NOED, like you're saying. Like, they might be smelling that. Like, he's kind of camping them in the 3 gen. There could be a surprise note at the end. And he's just sitting here. Like, he has sight. Like, I mean, nurse has sight on every single gen right now. Like, they're going to have to do something. Otherwise, this is a stalemate, and they know they need to tackle this. So
this could straight up be a stalemate.
Yeah, I have no clue what they're going to do. They kind of keep waiting around. I'm not sure if they're missing a totem that they would just want to get done right now or what.
I think they're testing the waters. I think they're playing a little bit of cat and mouse, seeing what's up. Oh, yeah. There we are.
Testing the patience of the nurse. Like, hey, I'm over here. Do you want to blink over and get a hit? And then they're going to start on the gens. But this nurse has legit been standing here for a while now. They're all kind of just on the outside of the map. They're trying to get different angles of approach, maybe try to surprise. Yeah, look, they came around, but blinks on instantly, have sight on the generator, gets a hit on the Nancy. Let's see if they go and finish this chase. Yeah, still kind of in the 3 gen, so they can finish this chase if they want to. Do they do it? No. I think they're going to have enough distance, and nurse is going to leave. So this is going to be the cat and mouse that we're going to see here for a little while. We're going to see a hit, and then if the nurse can finish off the hit in the 3 gen, they're going to take that hook. But if not, they're going to let them be.
I think they're going to commit here because they're death hook. I think this would be the time to commit.
Yeah.
Oh, the Styptic.
I wanted to say, the Styptic been making big plays in the league.
Styptic is just so soul crushing as Nurse. Look at that gen progression. Look at that.
Wow. She lost everything.
Yeah.
Nurse, don't look. Look up there. Look up there. Yes, look at the gen. Ooh. Oh.
Gets another hit. I think they're going to commit to that gen, though. They need it down if they have pop. Oh! They get the nice stun there, I think. And the gens get done.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Siphon did fantastic there. The Nurse just didn't quite pull that through. Oh, goodness, that's a little heartbreaking. She had a good strategy, but she just couldn't commit to the downs when they went into that 3-gen initially, which is what was needed. They needed that down in the 3-gen early, and that would have been the game changer right there, but they didn't get it, and they got on gens fast enough. And
yeah,
it looks
I feel like that Nurse either needed a down in her 3-gen or at least one of the ones on Death Hook out of the game.
Yep.
They're just going to leave, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, they're just going to... No, yeah. Man.
Wow.
I think Siphon pulls ahead on this one. There just wasn't enough hooks. They banked in on their strategy, but it didn't quite pull off.
That was tough.
Yep.
That they baited too well. The bait on the ace was just too strong.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man, that's hurts.
Ruin, Infectious Fright, Barbecue, and Haunted Ground. Honestly, I don't hate that build. I think that build is fine.
But the strategy they employed, though, I don't think Barbecue was useful. They could have used something else entirely. Because they didn't really hook at all. They got, 3 hooks?
Yep.
So Barbecue wasn't useful at all to them, really.
I know a lot of people have been running it's Ruin, Devour, and Haunted, and then the third perk, I think, or the fourth perk is either Corrupt or whatever they want. But that build, I've seen that a lot, and it actually works very well on Nurse, from what I've seen.
I mean, in pubs, that's fantastic because you're going to get kills all the time. I mean, hooks in general. But in this setting where they employed that strategy of kind of camping in the 3-gen, it just wasn't good. I don't know what else I would have brought instead. Maybe Undying, but you had Haunted in there, so I don't know. What do you think, Rue?
Well, I think we should do a post-game review, and we'll come back and look at some highlights, and then we'll see it out, and we'll be back again at 10 o'clock p.m. this evening, by the way, Eastern Standard Time. Hang on to your hats, folks. Here comes your post-game review. Guys, you've been watching the Week 5 matchups of Sample Text versus Siphon. And boy, it was a close match for sure. Hard to watch in some instances, and we're going to get to hear some of their opinions there in a second on what they thought of this last trial. But we saw 5 generators getting done in trial number 4 with a total of 3 escapes. One person not quite able to get out, unfortunately, at the end with a 3-hook game. Disappointing to say the least, with 2 camped hooks to second stage and a 1K as well. So 60-67 in favor of Siphon, and Siphon's going to take the lead at the end, and they're going to be convicted of murder. So well done to Siphon. Congratulations on your win tonight. And we're going to go into the post-game highlights, and you guys can take it over, and then we'll see it out. Let's see what you guys think. Take it away, Rue, Alfredomo, and Ninetales9.
So, while, yes, I like this build overall, I think the assessment that they didn't utilize it is correct. They didn't get Haunted Ground value except for pushing to second state, which is not where you want to be necessarily. If they had taken that second state, like you said, come back and killed the person on hook with 2-3 gens to go, phenomenal. Haunted Ground, yeah, you didn't kill anybody, but you guaranteed that you got someone out of the game, so I think it's a fair trade. Didn't see, I was really expecting Noed because I thought it was just going to slaughter with Noed and didn't happen. Infectious, I guess, gave them knowledge that no one was around when they downed. It's, and yeah, if you take Ruin Undying, or, Ruin Haunted Ground, Ruin Haunted Grounds I like, it's just that it everything got cleansed, and so it just ended up not mattering. Plus, they didn't really push the gens during the Ruin period anyway, so.
Yeah.
I also think, with that being said, with Infectious Fright, I didn't even notice it was on that whole match. But then, with that being said, instead of camping that hook when Haunted Ground was up, when he had that hook in the middle, I would have gone looking for people, trying to get value out of Infectious. And because you had Haunted Ground, you could have done something with that. But in the heat of the moment, you make the decisions and you don't know what's the right decision at all.
Yeah, exactly. There were people in blinking range on a gen.
Yeah.
My guess is when they hooked them, Barbecue didn't give them any readings, so they didn't have anything to go off of. Would be my guess, because it seemed like the survivors were relatively close.
They were in blinking range. I mean, you could have at least gone close to that gen, seen if they were there when Haunted was up, because you knew they cleansed the totem right by that gen, and you could have just gone like, oh, they're right there. Let me blink there, get it down, get another down, then snowball instead of that strategy. Which that strategy could have worked if they got that down in the 3 gen at the end. And then they would have had constant pressure in that area, but they just didn't get that. So it's unfortunate. But yeah, that's just how the game went.
And to be fair, it's not like the nurse was just straight up bad. It's like Siphon's a good survivor team. It's tough playing, a tough killer against a really good survivor squad. It's going to feel like the biggest uphill battle the entire time. So, oh man. Yeah, Siphon Text did, not Siphon Text. Dadgummit, it's never. I can't undo it. It's just forever now. Siphon just did a really good job with their Survivor Squad. Really, very well coordinated. And again, that ace should have gone down in my opinion. And then they had the Styptic play. Styptic against Nurse just feels soul crushing when you're chasing someone and they dead hard, and then the next time you would hit them, they Styptic. It's just like, stop it. This isn't fair. Just let me down, you dang it.
Yeah, that is the Nurse's worst nightmare. Dead hard and Styptics. Oh no.
Oh man.
It's such a good series of games. It was tied at the 3rd game, and the 4th game was still very interesting. Like it was
absolutely
a nail biter. So it was a very exciting series of games. Very close. Only up by 7 points at the end for Siphon. So yeah, I think that's all I really got to say about it.
Yeah. Very even matchup in my opinion. That could have gone either way.
It was a very close game indeed. Very close game. I enjoyed it for what I got to see.
Agreed. And you're back.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sample Text versus Siphon here with Little Rugard showing up, and we also had 2 other counselors tonight. Thank you for showing up, guys, helping me out. Definitely appreciate it last minute. And that was all for Domo, captain of, oh god, don't tell me, Loop Artist. I can do this.
There we go.
And Ninetales, also a member of Loop Artist, ? I think so.
No.
Damn.
PGS.
Oh, PGS.
How do I know this?
I'm not good.
Oh
I'm not good enough.
I don't know. My memory is not what it used to be. Shut up. Do you know how many names I see week to week? I'm bad at this. I'm an old man, okay? What team are you on?
What team am I on?
You're not on a team anymore. It was disbanded, but now you're on Port Mafia, I think. So anyway.
Yes, I'm on Port Mafia.
So I think that's going to be it for this stream, guys. If anybody wants to do a guide the raid, we can go ahead and do that. Oh, somebody did. Who was it? Alex the Plug. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and just start taking it out. Don't forget to go to vigoscourt.com, see the latest stats and updates on the stream, and what we're going to be doing in the coming weeks will be updated there at some point, as well as league@vigoscourt.com, our email address. Send us an email if you want to get involved in the show, help us out with the show any way, shape, or form. Commentate like these guys did tonight. Thank you again for that. Really appreciate it. And if you want to help out hosting the show, you can do that too. If you want to play in the league, email us for that as well. And we'll be doing all kinds. Shut up, Rue. We'll be doing all kinds of stuff, and we'll be right back at 10 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time, not too long from now. And we'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. And we're going to guide the raid over to Alex the, what was it
Plug.
again? Alex the Plug. Thank
Plug.
you. I don't know why I almost said Alex the Pug. I guess it doesn't matter.
It's not a bad name either.
Right? So before the first gen even pops, trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Freaky JT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike.
And that